Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to have everyone with me. Today, I'm happy to have one person that I didn't meet, unfortunately. I met online, but I didn't meet face to face. But I know, know them from an organization and know this person from interaction more than once. Know the field that they cover is an important and highly effective field, which is the patient experience. I think so. Everyone and a lot of people are really interested to understand more what's really highly effective about the tech in the patient experience area. There are the usual patient experience, strategy and all of that, but there is the technology. So I have Hannah with me. Hannah is with an international company that are related to voice of patient, not voice of customer. So let's be clear about that. It's voice of patient. So Hannah, please feel free. It's your
Thank you for the introduction. My name is Hannah. I'm a patient experience consultant at Insider CX. We are a company that helps healthcare provider truly harness patient experience, and we are doing it in the digital world. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to talk about patient experience. How is it changing? How it's different from maybe what we've seen patient experience to be thought of as until now, something like, patient satisfaction and things like that. But I truly want to talk about how it's changing in this landscape and how you can truly, in this modern age, capture and harness patient experience.
so. From our discussion, you remember, Hannah, we said there are some statistics that really and trends say and really prove that why patient experiences it really matters.
Yeah.
So I would really love to understand more from your side as a consultant, as an expertise in that field, why patient experience matters.
So, as you sure know, 80% of the patients feel like their experience is really, really important to everything else. So not just the outcome, not just how they think, it was great, they got the results, they did everything. They find that patient experience and how they felt like when they were with you as a provider truly matters. And then on the other hand, 81% of patients feel like something was lacking to that
Mm, mm,
experience.
mm, mm.
So, how do hospitals and clinics usually feel about that? It's, oh, we can't we can't influence that. If somebody is unsatisfied, they're unsatisfied. There's nothing, that we can do. But that's not true. There are many, many things that in this day and age that you can do. And the main reason why all of these things happen is because healthcare providers really struggle to capture the voice of patient. They want feedback. Every provider would tell you, your feedback means a lot to us because, of course, patients are your customers, patients are your clients. Of course, you would love to know what they want and how they want it. But still, a majority of healthcare providers, for example, uses pen and paper surveys
Mm,
or
true.
in-person, interviews, which is great. A lot of those surveys can capture a lot of things, and you can find out many things when you're talking to a patient. But are we thinking about just, handling unsatisfied patients? Okay, let's put out this fire, let's keep them satisfied. Or are we actually thinking about, okay, how can we capture preventative insight? How can we keep track of themes and trends? How can we stop that, horrible experience that 1 in 10 people will have from ever happening? Because if you capture data in real time, if you analyze it in real time and automate all of that, maybe you will hear from one patient, two patients, three patients, let's say nobody told me about side effects. And then if you go to your clinicians or whoever is handling that and say, okay, we need to be more mindful about talking to our patients about side effects. Maybe you will prevent that one person who will actually not know who to call, and they will be having side effects. So this is something that we see in the industry that's happening. Like, if even they are digitalized, they like to use email or contact form or QR codes. And when speaking to providers, it's not many of them, even when they're handling just the patient experience and quality, when you ask about metrics, what are your response rates to surveys? What are your completion rates to surveys? They won't know. They are capturing feedback, they are analyzing, they're doing the best they can, but there's such a smarter way to do that. I'm not sure, I'm not just in the customer experience, if you have had some certain situations with that, but if you're not measuring something, if you're not aware where you stand, how can you actually improve it?
True.
If you know
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say, yeah.
100%. I all they say basically if you cannot measure it, you cannot understand it.
Yeah.
So basically, I say it in simplicity. Everyone has his own size. So if you don't know your measures, nothing will fit you.
Yeah.
So you will go blindly trying to choose. I'm putting myself now in the owner of this investment, investment in the patient area, which is in medical area. If they don't understand exactly what's the problem, because what they are doing, they're just putting out the fire. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a reactive action. No, now people understand that you need to be proactive.
Yeah.
Proactive, it means understanding the problem, seeing a root cause, fixing it, as you said, having that KPIs and SLAs to really understand how you can be better and improve.
Yeah.
Why top medical centers, and I'm sure that you will share later with me, that are really good in that, because they know and understand. And
Yeah.
then they can have easier way to go that direction. Perfect,
Yeah,
beautiful.
and especially if some of the providers they are investing so much time and energy in that. They really want to collect feedback. They really want to be better. They really want to provide exceptional care. And then they are doing hours and hours of, manual analysis. We once talked with a provider who collects everything on paper, then rewrites it in Excel, and then in Excel they do the analysis, and that is, maybe you're having quarterly results or something. How are you quick to actually capture a patient that was unsatisfied? How quick are you to capture themes and trends and preventative insights? And a lot of them are also relying on, I won't say completely inaccurate, but data that is not completely reliable. Because if you're, for example, having contact forms on your webpage and you're relying on the patient to remember exactly where they were, at which date, at which time, which clinician, and I'm not saying the patient will lie or anything, but maybe they will accidentally click something from a drop-down menu, that wasn't really like that. So the data that you're collecting, and you're putting so much effort in all of that, and it's basically, worthless in the end.
True.
So that's something, we want to change, because the voice of the patient is not just, feedback, is not even just satisfaction, because satisfaction can be, if you're asking patients, how clean was the reception area. For one patient, they will say 5, and another patient, maybe they're really, really, really concerned about cleanliness. For them, that will be 3. It's very subjective sometimes to ask those questions. But like I mentioned before, questions like, were you informed about side effects? Did you know who to contact if you felt like,
Yeah.
there was an issue or something? That is objective. If you find out, that from those questions that objectively you can improve your operations and your quality team, that is really, really valuable information you can get from your patients. So we want the patient to be truly, we want to understand their needs, we want to understand their concerns, and we want to, understand their expectations, because a lot of the times managing expectations, can provide much, much, much better experience. Because if you're promising, everything, this and that, and then the patient comes and it's so completely different from what they were expecting, you will have a very unsatisfied patient.
True. Yes. You remind me of a situation that while my mother was having her knee operation, so we were in the waiting room. So it said there is a waiting room that basically in for the family of the patient to wait, and there are multiple people because they're waiting for multiple people who are doing operations. It's amazing that how many rooms are people are being treated on the same time. It gives me all the time that wow, that one floor all of these people are doing their expertise to get these people better in health. But the biggest concern of us, because we cannot enter, well, you cannot know. So you will be in a situation of and anxiety and scare and feelings, because this is your mother or father or anybody, basically your loved one, for which in whichever situation it is, which I don't ever wish anybody of the good people to be in that situation. You need someone to just can say, what's the progress? How is she? What's happening and all of that. They told us, don't worry, there is a TV screen. This TV screen will show you the tracking. Wow, I said, wow, honestly, as an expertise in CX, said, wow, this is amazing. And I'm looking, because the operation took 6 hours, huh? And from the first hour, I was, okay, 1 hour, nothing changed. Second hour, nothing changed. Come on, there has to be progress. At least 10%. At least.
Yeah.
When I reached to the third hour, I was, خلاص, I reached to a level that I cannot stand it. I went
Yeah.
out asking and saying, look, people, I'm really and anxious to understand what's the situation of my mother, how is she? And I was surprised that they told me, no, she's after, she took and she's in the operating room, the doctor is with her and everything. So I told the guy the person who answered me, I told him, look, okay, but nothing is appearing in the board. No, he said it's broken. I said, now you're asking everyone to watch the screen.
Yeah.
You killed the moment, honestly, for me.
Yeah.
I was so excited, and then they killed me. And I said, man, you want me to disturb you every time? But he was very kind to come every half an hour, gives me the progress personally.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it was this guy. But if he
Yeah.
wasn't there, this is exactly what you have said.
Yeah.
At the end, you as a manager, owner of this organization, do you want everyone to treat right, or you are just wishing that you have Hana and Waleed and their best situation to treat the people right?
Exactly.
This is what I don't understand. Is it that operationally they don't understand, or what's happening? So this takes me to the second question that really will help us. Why does this happen? Is it a common challenge that you see in that field of
Absolutely. Yeah.
patient experience?
I mean, healthcare, it's an it's an
It's a
industry
nightmare.
that is not that easy to change. It's not the IT industry. It's not like, everybody will now, transfer to digital,
Mm.
patient records, everything, let's just go digital. No, it's
Right.
not that simple, and
Yeah.
there are many, many challenges, and,
Sure.
doctors and clinic managers, nurses, they all have so much stuff to do. But it's just what I meant, what I said before is, if you are already doing it, do it the smart way. Stop doing work that is going in vain, especially with private healthcare providers, because we mostly work with private healthcare providers. This is where you truly need to invest so much in patient experience, because
Yeah.
the average growth rate of a healthcare provider is 45%, but the average churn rate is 48%.
Well,
And
it's all the time bigger.
yeah, one
Yeah.
in three patients, after just one bad experience, they will switch providers. Why
Mhm.
wouldn't they?
Yes.
They're paying, so if he pays you or if he pays you, it's the
Yeah.
same to him. They just want a great patient experience. And
Sure.
what a lot of providers seem to think, we will give them discounts, this and that. And what we find and what we see all the time, it's not about the money. You know, private patients, as long as they're getting the quality of the experience they seem fit, they will pay the price. It's not about that. It's just about, patients feeling heard. It's about patients, truly not just, the quality of service, but the quality of the experience. Because if you have an issue and you go there and the issue in the end is resolved, but the doctor yelled at you, the receptionist was rude to you, okay, in the end, you resolved your issue. But if the doctor yelled at you and the receptionist was rude at you, maybe you will go to someone else because you're thinking, okay, maybe I can get this resolved, but also somebody can speak to me kindly. So it's really not about, what you're just getting from the quality of service, it's also how you're being treated there. So, and yeah, that's the common issue. It's just they do so much work, but they do it, still very, very inefficiently.
Yes.
They are not capturing, some of the providers are, I'm not saying, every single one of them, but what we see, capturing real-time data and doing preventative analytics, and not just that, it's also, they will get a survey and then they will grid the questions,
Mm.
so it's very, the user interface is, here we're talking about
Yeah.
communication, here we're talking
Mm.
about cleanliness, or they will use scales that don't really make sense, 3-point scales where you should be using 5-point scales, or they would be using smileys and sliders. And
Mm.
what kind of a data are you getting if you're gauging the patient's, experience with smileys? You know, I think that, there's so much more to patient experience than just, oh, let's just collect feedback, and if somebody's really angry at us, we will reply. So yeah, that's, I think, the most common issue.
Yeah, 100%. Uh, do you think that, يعني, a lot of what I see, a lot of, institutes which are in the healthcare, they would say, yes, we want the voice of patient to be heard. So what do you see is the strategy for that? The best for this, that to be heard. Yani from our side, like me and you, we are trying to educate. We are trying
Yeah.
to help people understand. What do you see other thing that yani this needs to be heard in the institute itself?
Uh, if you mean like with the healthcare
Yes,
providers,
yes, yes.
what is actually, sometimes really worrying is that sometimes yes, they all say voice of patient to be heard. We want your feedback. We want this. We want that. And then you actually come across, they're actually afraid to hear some things. They think, what if our, NPS drops down? What
Mm,
if we find a lot of unsatisfied patients? What if it turns out, we need to make a lot of changes and we
mm.
need to invest more in the patient experience, in the education? They're really afraid sometimes. to really feel how, to really know what the patient experience at their institution is like. So I think that's mostly my biggest concern that I see happening in healthcare is that, do you really want the voice of patients to be heard? That's my biggest concern, honestly.
Basic. I remember that I sat with a person who was, honestly, a person who taught me a lot. And the first thing he said when we were in a meeting, and it was in a board meeting, honestly, and he was the consultant, and he was, this was one of the objectives that he had, which is customer experience. So it was a company that had customer service, but they didn't move to customer experience yet. So, they were all good in customer service, but they don't understand. It was something new for them, the customer experience. So when we were in the meeting, the board member and the CEO of the organization, which is a multiple company, it's not just one, they have 6 companies under it, and the chairman was there. So the chairman was very excited. I want to see customer experience. I want that, because it was something everyone was talking about. And I think so that he was in a dinner and his friend said, "Oh, CX, what is CX? It's something good. Okay, I saw, did you hear? I went to the state, it was good." So he said, "Okay, let us put it." So I was there and I smiled and I looked at this guy. So he went to the chairman immediately and he said, "Look, are you exactly what you said? Are you ready to get killed?" Basically. So he said, "Huh?" He said, "Yes. If you are ready to get all of things that you don't understand and you were not seeing, because you're opening the door to the customer and telling him, 'I care.'"
Yeah.
So you're telling the customer, "I care." So you need to be, as they say, responsible in front of him, that you would give this promise.
Exactly.
So are you ready for that? Because this will happen and this will happen and this people will get you. We could find people who are thieves in the company. We will. Blah, blah, blah. So he said, "Huh?" He said, "Okay, no, it's okay, but let's take it slowly."
Yeah.
Yes, slowly. We took 3 months just to educate the board. Honestly, 3 months.
Yeah.
Just working with the board member, CEO, board member, chairman, and their family, because it was the full family board.
Yeah.
You're talking about 22 person, ladies and men. Every week we met just to educate them. It was my responsibility. After we finished the 3 months, they were our ambassadors. But we did it at that. And alhamdulillah, for 2 years, we took number 1 as the company for retail at that time. For 2 years after it, yes, we took it number 1, because it was an international company.
Yeah.
So we took it. So yes, 100% you're right. I'm with you. It's about, are they ready?
Yeah. But
So,
in the end, they will result with, it will result with more growth,
yes,
better retention, better acquisition, and most of all, you will have patient loyalty. And
yes,
what we also do in our company, we keep track of those things like loyalty drivers, sources of information, and you can probably guess, what the number 1 loyalty driver is. It's word of mouth.
yes, 100%.
And if you have that organically, you don't have to do, maybe, marketing, all the budgets, will go down. If you have the word of mouth and if you have loyal patients, you've solved so many things that, today's healthcare providers struggle with.
100%. I agree with you that word of mouth is the magical tool for any organization, big or small, to really move to another scale, to have that advantage, to have that, I'm saying, positive word of mouth, to have that advantage, to have that, but to reaching to that, it's not easy, because you need to build trust, you need to build the culture, you need to build an understanding, you need a lot of things until and really have that trust inside of you as an owner, that everyone who enters this door of this organization can really help you. So talking about the word of mouth. So, okay, how to transform this feedback to accountable, actionable insight. So there are feedback. As you have said, people are using handwriting. So now we have a system.
Yeah.
This system now show me, okay, that we have an issue in the parking, an example, or we have an issue in the reception.
Yeah.
So how can we transform this insight to actionable insight?
So, I mean, how we do it here is, we devise, specific questionnaires and surveys. We do service specific, we do location specific. You can, if you're mindful of the data points that you're collecting, if you're mindful, about your survey goals, what you actually want to do, are you just, oh, let's collect feedback, or okay, our goal is to do this, and then if you can see what the pain points really are. And if I see, in almost every single survey, there's a cleanliness question. And honestly, most of the hospitals that I've been to, they're pretty clean. So, if you see, everybody's completely satisfied with that, and you see for yourself your hospital is, clean at all times, remove that question. Collect another data point. Why are you collecting this? There's no need to do that. And if you see maybe something in an open-ended question, happening, okay, you can change the question. You can, put it back in. And when you're using open-ended question, where you're having text comments, in this day and age, especially for hospitals that have thousands of patients on a monthly basis, are you reading every single text comment? I hope not, because that would be a lot of time. Use AI, use sentiment analysis, but also be mindful not to put everything on AI and open-ended questions. We love to have great data points. So, be mindful what you're actually trying to achieve, are you maybe, do a questionnaire, see what they reply, and then devise the survey according to the goal. What are we doing with this survey? What do we want to achieve? And then keep track of it, That's the biggest point, And if possible, automate it, use digital tools, don't use pen and paper.
True. Because I'm sure pen and paper are, one of the issues that something could fail. Any human, as they say, operation or human action, expected to have failure more than technology, because the percentage of perfection in the technology is, if what enter is correct, is that what, as they say, informed is will be better.
Of course, and not just that, because a lot of the hospitals and clinics, when they're doing the paper surveys, or when they doing interviews with the patients, the patient will not probably be completely truthful.
Yes.
And not that I'm saying, they will lie, consciously, but, imagine the nurse or the doctor who just did something, and will you give him a 7 out of 10 if you really think that? Or will you maybe give him a 9 out of 10 if he's looking at you, being there with you, he's working for the hospital, you're feeling, as a patient or as a customer at any place, maybe you would not be comfortable with saying everything that you want to say.
True.
Unless you're, that angry that you're, you will tell him everything in the face. But even then, there is a possibility that you will be even more angry, because he's here, you can lash out to him, but if are filling out a survey 24 hours after you were discharged at home on your mobile phone, you will probably be more calm, collected, and you will give less biased information.
True. This is 100% that I agree with you in that. So what do you see a benefit of prioritizing the voice of patient? Where do you see that practically?
Like I mentioned, this patient-centric approach that prioritizes that, it will just, your brand will be so strong. You will build so much trust, so much loyalty.
Yes.
You will definitely, I mean, all of the clinics, what they do keep track of is usually are the churn rates and the acquisition rates and patient lifetime values, etc. So you will see the growth rate there. You will see your online reputation getting better. You will see happier patients, and you will see the ROI. In the end, a lot of providers are interested in the return of investment,
Yes,
and you
yes,
will see it. And it will also make the job of your employees and even yours much, much easier.
true, true. Hannah, what can I say? Every good thing, every good story has the beauty of it has a second chapter. So
Yeah.
I really thank you for this opportunity today to give me
Thank you.
from your great time, and hope to see you very soon, either face to face, that will be great, or we could organize something online, a new
Of course.
discussion, a new understanding about the patient experience. Because let me be very honest, I see that this is an important field, even for what's the direction of the government here in Saudi.
Yep.
They are having it as one of the main pillars that in the vision, and even after the vision, which is the quality of life and all of that, which is related to the vision itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so this will help, that we could support people to understand more how can they. And I really encourage you, everyone. Hannah is in LinkedIn. I will put her LinkedIn account. Please feel free to contact her. A
Yep.
person that I really was so, as they say, pleasured that there was a simple interaction.
Of
And
course.
until today, we are having, as they say, every week an interaction. What's happening there? What can we do? What can we help? And all of that, with all honesty and helpful as she is. And please, and feel free to contact her. And if you have any questions, or have requests that for the second episode that we could have, or webinar, please share with us. Tell us what questions do you have, and what do you want us to talk about, and we are more than happy to support you in that field. Hannah, thank you
Thank
as
you, Waleed.
usual. Thank you very much, and wishing you all the best. Keep as they say, warm. I know you have told me that you're in Croatia and -5 now, or -4. Anyway, I'm here. My mother is feeling cold and has three blankets, and we are 17 only degrees. So
Yeah.
I'm just wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Hope to see you inshallah very soon. Thank you again.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you.
day.
You too.
Bye.
معكم كان وليد الحمدان from CX Next. Bye.